I actually do want you to believe me. But in order to drive my point home, because this is Testimonial Week, we're going to hear it from the horse's mouth. We have David with us from Illinois to talk with us about his experience with medical nutrition. David, thanks for calling. Are you there?
Hey, Dr. Glennon.
Hey, David, thanks so much for logging in here. I appreciate your help. So give us a little bit of your history. How old are you?
I am 19 years old.
19 years old. You're currently a freshman at Loyola University, correct?
That is correct.
And you got a full boat scholarship, if memory serves me correct. Is that correct?
Just about, yeah.
Oh, all right. So that means you are one smart young man. And you're in the premed department. Is that what you're studying at the University of Loyola?
Yes.
All right. Very good. Now, you were born with type 1 diabetes. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So before you did medical nutrition, which you started about 3 years ago, tell everybody what your experience with your blood sugars was like.
Blood sugars were very up and down, very chaotic for me. I was actually diagnosed a hypersensitive type 1 diabetic due to how many seizures I was having from my diabetes, along with the massive amounts of insulin that I was taking into my body.
So give us an example. What was your daily dose of insulin before you did medical nutrition?
Daily dose of insulin was somewhere between 200 and 300 units a day, according to how much I ate.
All right, 200 to 300 units of insulin a day. Now, for the listening audience, type 1 diabetes, you can't reverse that, because in type 1 diabetes, your pancreas has burned out the cells. The cells in the pancreas that make insulin are no longer there. There's a little window of time in the first year of life when we can intervene and perhaps make a difference with a type 1 diabetic. But once that window is closed, it's closed. And whoever has type 1 diabetes must be taking insulin injections every day just in order to live. However, insulin is a tricky little molecule, because if you take too much of it, over time, you're going to lose your fingers, lose your toes, lose your feet, lose your hands, lose your vision, which is what happens to diabetics as a result of too much insulin use over time. Your body can't handle it. So what we want to do with type 1 diabetics is cut them way down on their use of insulin. And if we can do that, everybody's happy. So how many years ago, David, did you start up with medical nutrition?
I started listening to all this and practicing it almost 3 years ago, about 2.5.
And when you first started, you were only able to afford one of the supplements a month. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And when you started taking, what happened to your insulin levels?
Oh my goodness! It was ridiculous. I felt like. Well, for one, I was low a lot. My blood sugar went down because I didn't realize how fast the change would happen to my insulin scale. In a matter of 2 days, my insulin scale went from about, 250, between 200 and 300 units of insulin to between 75 and 150 units in 2 days.
And so that's a half of a reduction. It's 50% reduced. So what is it today, 3 years later?
I take about 25, 30 units of insulin a day.
Okay, so before medical nutrition, you were doing average of 250 units of insulin a day, and now, 3 years later, you're averaging 30 units of insulin a day. Is that correct?
That is correct.
You are the man. Now, how do you feel since you switched over to medical nutrition? What else has happened in your life?
A few other things. Going gluten-free, actually, I found out I had digestion problems that I wasn't even aware of beforehand, that just going gluten-free fixed for me. That was a fantastic thing. I had ADD for a while. That's out the window. I'm no longer hypersensitive type 1 diabetic. I have not had a seizure since before I started the sweeties, and my brain is just, it seems more organized, and my memory functions better. I'm able to recall things and remember things better than I could before.
Unbelievable. So no more ADD, no more hypersensitive diabetes, no more seizures. And your insulin use has gone from an average of 250 now to an average of 30 units a day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the potential of medical nutrition. I've said it before, I'll say it again, as God is my witness. You do not know what you're missing. Click on the Join Us link and find out how you, too, can experience the wonderful benefits of science-based, clinically verified nutrition. Now, David, your family physician, when he saw these numbers come down, what did he say?
My physician, he originally he didn't notice. More or less, he was just kind of just blindsided by it. The MD didn't ask. The MD didn't, no questions. It was, I walked in. The MD was like, "Oh, you need more insulin." They took my A1C, and things were done. So very closed on that level.
So basically, no feedback at all, right?
Exactly.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, he didn't call me. And this is what I was alluding to before. I've been doing this for 23 years clinically, and I am still waiting for the first phone call from an MD who had previously been treating someone for years. I get a hold of the person for whatever reason. I take care of the problem in a number of months. It goes away. They go back to their MD. The MD sees the before and the after results and doesn't call me. This is the fundamental problem that we have in the United States. This is why Alex Jones was right. It's a prison planet. Because these people are completely in control of our health, and they are completely incompetent into the bargain, and yet we genuflect at their altar every single day. You know how many people there are like David in the world? How many people are struggling with their insulin? How many people are cloudy in their brains, have epileptic seizures, have all kinds of problems because their blood sugar levels are untaken care of? Why are they untaken care of? Because they went to the wrong doctor.